Welcome back to another episode of From My Perspective. And honestly, it was some nonsense that happened. We gotta go right into it. Not even gonna lie. I'm your boy Dion. Please like, please subscribe. 60% of you guys ain't subscribed for some reason. Just subscribe. Q, how you doing?
Man, you already know the bad. It's your boy, Miss Bill. We gotta get to this because it got me hot. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
So the Pro Bowl, we talked a lot about the Pro Bowl voting in the last few weeks. We gave our perspective on who we think probably should be in the Pro Bowl that is the Hall of Fame that's not in the Hall of Fame. A couple weeks ago, go back and listen to that episode. I believe that was the Christmas special episode for you guys. But there was a voting that happened. Uh, I'll go into a little bit more detail in a little bit, but there was a voting that happened, and someone that was on the ballot, Bill, William Stephen Belichick, aka Bill Belichick, he was on the ballot with four other people. One of his people was his boss and Robert Kraft to get voted. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but I try to explain it to you in a little bit. But long story short, Bill Belichick was not voted in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's a big deal because being a first ballot Hall of Famer is a big deal. First time you're on the ballot, getting in is a big deal. You put in a different room when you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's not sugarcoat it. You first ballot Hall of Famer, you're in a different room. Some of these people wait 15 years. If you ain't gotta wait, you first year you on the ballot, you in there, you're in a different room. Bill Belichick, William Stephen Belichick, his resume says he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he did not get voted in. There's some behind the scenes stuff I'm gonna talk about, but I just want your reaction, Q. When you saw that come across your phone, William Stephen Belichick isn't the first ballot Hall of Famer. What was your reaction?
What do you got to do to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? You won 6 rings. Not even talking about the assistant two that he won as an assistant coach. Not out coaching the years. I know you're gonna get into those in a minute. Forget all that. That man won 6 rings.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
You're not
Not
wrong.
two, not three. What LeBron say? Not four, not five. That man won 6 rings. My first thought when I saw that was, so what you got to do to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? If anybody deserves to be, it's going to be him. And then my next thought was, so y'all gonna keep that same energy with Tom? No, y'all not.
No, not.
Tom's gonna get in first. Tom's gonna get in first. But to me, I'm not even a Bill Belichick fan. It pissed me off seeing that he ain't the first ballot Hall of Fame. And then we're gonna get into the pettiness that why he wasn't made me even more angry. Because now I'm turning into a Bill Belichick fan. Now I'm
Yeah,
now I'm rooting for the Tower Hills.
so
This ain't what I was doing.
so let's go ahead and get into some of the stuff. Like when it first happened, it was reported that Spygate and Deflategate was a part of the reason why Spygate. Okay, cool. He still won three after Spygate. After y'all punished him, Deflategate. That's not on him. Tom was the one deflating the footballs per se. He ain't had nothing to do with it. He was coaching. If that's how y'all do it, okay. Then it came out. Bill Polian led the charge. Bill Polian, a former GM of the Buffalo Bills, aka hated rivals of the New England Patriots.
Don't forget about the
So
Colts.
maybe that's part of it. But there was some people that came out. I literally just screenshotted this. A lot of people when it happened said I voted for him, but I'm not going to blame necessarily the voters. I'm going to blame the system per se. Let me tell you why. The system is the system is very very flawed. It's a situation where we're not talking about like because they got basically two separate. They got two separate votes, but these guys was given five people. And they only had to vote for three. It was three players. I don't know their name. I apologize. I don't know the guys' names, but it was three players: Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. There was that these guys had to vote for. They had to vote for three of them. One of the voters basically said, "This is a players' league. I voted for the players." Okay, whatever. Bill Belichick's on that. You probably should have voted for that man. Just saying. Some people said, and this is Mike Chappell of Fox 59 Indianapolis. He has a vote. This is his quote. As of the 50 selections, I voted for Robert Kraft for the long-time accomplishment New England Patriots owner. He wrote, I did not vote against Bill Belichick, the long-time accomplished head coach of that dynasty. I realize that differences without a destination, but I'm comfortable with my decision. In other words, there it's a flawed system. A lot of people, these guys, they probably feel like these guys been waiting. I'm gonna vote for these guys. I read somewhere where it said they feel like it was one of those situations where people say they see somebody getting beat up in the middle of the street and just assume somebody else is gonna call 911. That's what somebody said. They said, I just assumed somebody else is gonna vote for Bill. That's why I voted for those players or Robert Kraft. It's a flawed system. These players has been these players is backlogged. As players that's played in the 1970s, that probably should be in the Hall of Fame, that's not in the Hall of Fame. It's a backlog system, and they can only vote for three. Some years, maybe all five people should be Hall of Fame worthy, but they can only vote for three. And then every year, there's new people that gets added to the list. Some are more worthy than the people that are on the list. It's just a flawed system. But Bill should have been a Hall of Famer, first ballot. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been. I'm just saying the system is flawed, and I can't 100% blame them for what they did because they. I don't know. I can't. I should blame them, but it's just it's a. I'm just my thing is it's a flawed system. It's a flawed system.
Yeah. I got this podcast I'm working on with this guy named Joe. You familiar with Joe, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My guy. I see him every Monday, 8:30 at the Dollar General.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna steal the name from this podcast to answer to respond to what you're saying. Cause you my dog. So respectfully, Dion, I feel like you're wrong. I don't think it's the system. I blame the people. The system been fine for this long. Imagine. T.O. took offense, which T.O. said, where was this? Y'all want to, the Hall of Fame want to release a statement now when Bill don't get in, talking about people holding grudges, basically, or whatever the case may be, or the system, or people not doing what they're handling it the way they're supposed to. T.O. got a point. 2016, 2017, T.O. should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. If not, he should have been in that next year, but they didn't. Cool. We could say the system. I just don't feel like the system is wrong. I get your point. I do get your grander point, but I don't feel like the system is the issue. I feel like the people who was involved in the system is the issue. And dude said I voted for the players. Okay, cool. But who put those players in the position to win? Who coached those players up? Who schemed for these players to put up these numbers that they did? Bill Belichick won six of them things. Six as a head coach, two as an assistant. You have to give some credit to the coaches. And I get it. Like, it is a players' league. And it's hard for coaches or people, it's hard for nine players to get in the Hall of Fame. And that's just every Hall of Fame. NBA, NFL, or, you know what I'm saying? Baseball, whatever that may be. But you can't ignore that man's accomplishments. And I also disagree with the fact of, hey man, I just thought everybody else was gonna vote for Bill. So I wanted to give my one of my votes to somebody else. Yeah, I think Bill should have been in, but I want to give one of my votes to somebody else. No, when you are an NFL voter, when you're a Hall of Fame voter, your responsibility is: can you tell the story of the NFL with this person or without this person? You cannot tell the NFL story without Bill Belichick. So
Bill gets chapters.
Bill should have been the first name everybody clicked. You could tell this story without Robert Kraft. Anybody that voted for Robert Kraft, joke. I'm just being real. You could tell the story of the NFL without Robert Kraft. I know Robert Kraft has done some stuff behind the scenes, great, and that's fine. I'm not trying to this diminish his accomplishments, but you can't compare them to Bill's. And then the Bill, I feel like let's say 4 or 5 people, like now I'm gonna vote for these players because everybody else is gonna vote for Bill. But then you also got this Bill Polian element because, like you said, he worked with the Buffalo Bills, but he also worked for the Indianapolis Colts, which was the big time rival at the time when Bill was winning those championships.
Before you continue, I was a little bit mad at Bill. He all about some. I don't remember what I did. Boy, you remember what you did?
No, that ain't all you see. I don't remember if I voted for Bill, but I remember I voted for Robert Kraft though. So you remember one vote, but you can't
Uh,
remember the other vote.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was hot at that. I ain't gonna lie, I was hot at that.
this reminded me, the whole Bill Polian situation reminded me of high school. It was this is making the Hall of Fame look very high schoolish. If you ain't in my clique or we ain't cool, I ain't rocking with you. Or if you dated the girl that I like, I can't let you get in. That ain't your job, man. We don't care about your personal feelings. We care about what these people have done to help the game of the NFL or help the game of football grow. That's what we care about. The Bill Polian situation is very high schoolish. That's what it reminded me of. I think we got to look at these voters, not all of them, but the ones who didn't vote for Bill. I got to look at them as a joke.
I will say the Hall of Fame did put out a statement saying that we might gotta take some people's vote away, and they're right. They might gotta take some people's vote away. But let me talk about it's a Kansas City writer. He has a vote. Vonnie Gregorin. I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but you didn't vote for Bill, so you probably don't deserve to get your name pronounced right on this here podcast. But he said his words. He basically says, I believe Belichick belongs in the hall to the point where he wrote it was hard to imagine a more accomplished candidate for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He also said his profile is such that you can make his case among Hall of Fame voters simply by saying his name. Certainly, it can be reasonably be wondered what the meaning of the Hall of Fame that doesn't ultimately elect him in it. Basically, this is one of the guys that said he voted for the three players. I have the list of the, like I said, it was 5 people on this ballot. There's a modern day ballot, and then there's this ballot, and then there's a senior ballot. This ballot had Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Ken Anderson, Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end L.C. Greenwood, San Francisco 49ers running back Roger Craig, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft. Those are the 5 people. Now, no offense, obviously, I don't know those other guys as well. I've heard of Ken Anderson. I've heard of Robert Craig. I'm really not too much familiar with Elson Greenwood. I know he was a part of that steel curtain. Not familiar with his game, but even listening to those 5 names, Bill's the first person I'm putting on my list.
And we got recency bias. Let's be real. We both got recency bias when it comes to the situation. I would have just me. I would have voted for Bill, and I would have voted for 2 of the players. I get it. The players write the history of the NFL, but you can't. Again, they got 6 championships. That number is damn. That number's crazy. People don't. Most NFL coaches don't get one. They definitely don't get two. He got 6 of them. You can't.
You really can't ignore all that stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we're gonna talk more about it as the Hall of Fame list starts to come out. We'll talk more about it again probably next week or the following week. Eli Manning, he did not get elected. I don't know who got elected. We'll probably find out more next week. But Eli Manning was not elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was one of those most controversial people that probably is like, should he or should he be in it? But let's
Got a
go
five.
ahead and talk.
Like I said before, that man got a 500 record. We got to stop acting like Eli is like I got it. He got 2 Super Bowls, but we get
It's
and his
tough.
last name is Manning. But all right, go ahead. My bad. I ain't because you off. But this whole Eli getting me everything. I don't understand. I think because we all like Eli, we ignore the fact of his record. But go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's tough. I think he's gonna get in because of his last name, most likely. But we will see. But Bill Belichick, the 3-time Coach of the Year, will not be in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot. He'll definitely be in next year. There's no way he's not. But let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming awards that's coming up. And we might as well go ahead and start with the Coach of the Year award. Who you got as your Coach of the Year, Q?
But now they got finalists, on Georgia. Uh, I will. I think Liam Cohen should be Coach of the Year because he turned around Jacksonville. If I had to pick anybody, and then, it's hard for me to pick a rival. I don't really want to pick a rival of the same division, but if I had to, if I had to pick, I'm going with
So, no, Mike Vrabel, your former old head coach, Mike McDonald, the guy that the guys in the Super Bowl, neither one of them guys. You going with Liam Cohen?
him. Do okay. I just said it about our recency bias with Bill Belichick. Are we do it? We basing this off the regular season. We can't include the fact that both of them got to the Super Bowl.
Mike McDonald had the number one seed in the NFC. If
He
we
did. You right. He did. But that also was good last year. It wasn't like he turned them around.
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Lynn Cohen. I understand your point about McDonald. I understand your point about Vrabel. Because I was trying to think, what was Seattle's regulation?
They
Maybe
wasn't awful, but they wasn't
they
great.
weren't awesome, but they wasn't Jaguars bad, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, dog, I'm going Lynn Cohen.
All right. So before we get to the rest of the awards, we got to talk about some of the coaching vacancy that has been filled quickly. Uh, Joe Brady, he's the new guy in the Buffalo Bills. He was the offensive coordinator. They got a guy that's familiar with Josh Allen. How you feeling about it?
Huh? Why you gonna make me be a hater this early in the pod? I don't know if I think this is a good hire because okay, you hired. I don't think. Okay, cool. What's he gonna do for your defense? Because your defense gave up a lot of plays at the
Hmm.
end. And again, I'm not to sound beat a drum, beat a dead horse. We said it last week. Another issue here was talent.
Need some more
Is the
talent.
talent is the talent gonna change?
Nope.
Is Bean still making the choices?
Nope.
That's the first. I know he got a promotion, so they're gonna hire a new GM. But if Bean's still making got final say over this, uh, it don't matter who your head coach is if you ain't got no talent.
No, you absolutely right. I like Joe Brady. I liked him. Like he burst on the scene as he was the offensive coordinator for the LSU Tiger team that went undefeated with Joe Burrow. Then he went to the NFL. I like him. I just don't know. I mean, I feel like this was a let's please Joe Burrow. I mean, let's please Josh Allen. Y'all still got to fix that defense. But oh no, the next coaching vacancy that was filled was in Cleveland. They went with the offensive coordinator, former offensive coordinator of Baltimore Ravens, and Todd Monken. But that's not necessarily the story. The defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, the current defensive coordinator, I don't know if he's going to be the defensive coordinator anymore, Jim Schwartz, if I'm not mistaken, he thought he was going to have the job. When he found out he didn't get the job, he was fired up. So your thoughts on Todd Monken? I know a lot of Baltimore fans was not happy with Todd Monken, but Todd Monken becoming the Cleveland Browns head coach and Jim Schwartz being so mad. Like that's the only thing that was good for Cleveland was the defense, but being mad that he's probably gonna get up out of there.
Okay, cool. I like the Todd Monken hire, but I also understand why Jim Schwartz is mad.
Mhm.
So I'm not. If I thought I was going to be the head coach and you interviewing me for this position, and then you come and hire somebody above me,
And still wanted to be the defense coordinator.
did you want me to stay? You should have just made me the head coach and then gave him boatload of money to go come here instead of going to New York with uh
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. Yeah, with Harbaugh. That's what they should have did. But that being said, I like the hire of Monken because of the fact y'all offense the problem was quarterback play. Can we just be honest?
Yeah,
I know Shredder made the Pro Bowl, but come on, bro. He was
we'll
in.
talk about that here in a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, was it real? But the problem wasn't necessarily offense. But if you gonna roll with Shador or get you one of these young quarterbacks coming at the draft, Monken already proved that he could work with that type of talent, mobile quarterbacks. Look what
Yep,
he did with Lamar. Lamar won two.
yep.
The
You're right.
defense, they feel like they still got the talent over there, so they like, we good over there. We gonna have to find another defense coordinator, or they thought they was gonna keep Schwartz, whatever the case may be. But I think they good on defense because we got the talent.
But Arizona is still open. Las Vegas is currently still open, but I believe the guy is going to be Clint Kubiak, the offensive quarterback for the Seahawks. That is my prediction. But we got to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went from one Mike to another Mike, but this is different. Usually they get, them a 35-year-old defensive minded head coach, somebody young. They went with a 62-year-old Mike McCarthy. Granted, I did watch his introductory press conference. Very emotional. Mike McCarthy, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. That's where he's from. That's his hometown. I'm sure he grew up as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You can see it meant a lot to him. I don't necessarily think he was the right hire because I feel like they're going with the status quo. Like I feel like, all right, we lost Mike Tomlin. Let's go with Mike McCarthy. Now going back to when Mike McCarthy was a Cowboys coach, I was like, man, I wish I had Mike Tomlin. Someone told me, like, Mike Tomlin, Mike McCarthy, they got basically the same resume. Only thing that's hyping up Mike Tomlin's resume is he's never had a losing season. All right,
Yeah, I
okay,
feel
you're
like
right. So I feel like it's kind of the status quo. They're not trying to change things, and it seemingly it wasn't the main reason, but it was part of the reason. Like if we get Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers will probably stay. So I feel like that's part of the reason. I mean, I don't think this is getting them closer to the Super Bowl. I honestly don't think no hire was getting them closer to the Super Bowl. But I feel like taking a step back, getting you a young coach, building young, and working towards it would have been more beneficial than getting a coach like that you probably felt like. Let me just go and put it in. Mike McCarthy is a coach that you feel like that you're right there. You just need a good coach. I don't think the Steelers is right there. I think their talent, their defense is old, their O line is okay. Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back, he's 42. I don't think they have the talent to have a we just need a Mike McCarthy good coach away from a Super Bowl. I don't think y'all had a good coach, had a great coach. Y'all couldn't get out of the first round. I think this is basically status quo.
I ain't gonna lie. For a minute there, I forgot McCarthy had a Super Bowl. It's crazy. Both their Super Bowls was that long ago, but I remember Thomas. I don't remember McCarthy's until just now. Um, the press conference got me, dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You had to ask me the press conference, I would have been like, yeah, I don't think this is a good hire. But watching that man, the way he reacted in this press conference, you see how much it means to him. I, the press conference got me. I think it's a good hire. Not even going
Yeah,
to try to sugarcoat it. The reason I think it's a good hire, and let's be real, he's a good coach.
yeah. Yeah,
He's a
I'm
good
definitely.
coach. He's a good coach, and this job means something to him. Now, you said if he's going to bring Aaron Rodgers, it might help bring Aaron Rodgers back. I don't know if I really want Aaron Rodgers back.
Well, so you want Will Howard?
I know what else they got. I know that. But at what point do we look? At what point do you look around and be like, okay, we got to do something else. We got to rebuild. We have to rebuild. One of these seasons, we're going to have to. We're going to have to get hit in the face, and we're going to have to rebuild. I think this is the year to do it. And McCarthy is, like you said, McCarthy is the. We got a 5 year window. Instead of young coach, you got a 15-year window. This is a 5 year window. But everybody was expecting them to hire a younger coach because
Yeah,
that's what they had done in the past when they passed 3 hires. But let's think about it. It's only 3 hires. We
yeah,
think we could say that's a trend, but we can also say that's not really a trend because they haven't had to be in this situation that many times.
you're right.
And the people who's making those hires also have gotten older. So I think that might play a part into it too. The press conference got me. I think it's
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell he was very emotional. It meant a lot for him to be a head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But let's get back to the awards. We're gonna start at the bottom, and according to insert sportsbook here, we're gonna start with the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Uh, the top three: Carson Swishinger. Speaking of Cleveland's defense, a linebacker for Cleveland from UCLA. Was hella good. I think it was a second round pick. James Prince Jr. He plays for Atlanta, and Nick Imawara for the Seattle Seahawks. Those are your top three. Carson, he's the favorite by minus 4,000. You just want to give it to him, or you got any other rookie, defensive rookie that you had in mind?
so I think he's going to win it, but we gonna do the recency bias. Nick is in the Super Bowl. I ain't
Yeah,
even gonna try to pronounce dude's last name. Play for the Seahawks defensive back. He is in the Super Bowl, and the
yeah,
defense is what carried them there.
yeah.
So I mean, I think that is we have to consider him. But now I'm going with Carson, and I'm man, Atlanta got two dudes in the top five, well, two in the finalists.
Yeah, Xavier Watts, Abdul Carter for they bring it up to caboose at number six. But yeah, uh, Atlanta's a good job. Kevin Stefanski, don't mess it up, dog. You got all you just need to do is find you a quarterback. That's really all you need to do, or fix Michael Penix Jr. or find you a quarterback, one or the other.
You got you got all the weapons on offense, and then the defense. Like I said, you got two young studs on defense, and Xavier Watts and James Pierce Jr. So I'm just saying, you you got it lined up.
Get that quarterback situation together. But let's go ahead and go to the AP NFL rookie offensive rookie of the year and insert sports book here. The top three is Tedero McMillan, Jackson Dart, and Tyler Shuck. Y'all hated on my man Tyler when he got drafted. Y'all hated on him. All he did was win. He came in and won. Emeka Ibuka is fourth. He would have been if they would have gave this award out after the first 2 months of the season. It would have been him. He's fourth. Trayvon Henderson, he's in the Super Bowl, had a pretty good season, but he's fifth. I know he's only third on the list, but quarterback has a little bit more weight, and he showed that he's that guy. I'm going with Tyler Shuck. He's probably not going to win it. I got Tyler Shuck winning it.
Nah, I got the Carolina wide receiver winning. And you,
Taylor
I love,
Roller.
I McMillan. Hey man, I love me some more. But yeah, nah, I'm going with McMillan off the back of this one because I saw, I could see the difference he made in Carolina compared to last year. So
Yep. All right. AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. The trophy is already heading to Miles Garrett's crib, so we can move on.
we ain't even go. Yeah, nah. I mean, no disrespect. What Anderson had a year. What Hutchinson from Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, can I ask a question though? Why is Michael Parsons a finalist?
I don't know, dog. I don't know.
Nah, man, show dog. Where you be? Like, why he a finalist?
I mean, he was solid. He changed the defense, and I think what part of the reason why he was minus is when he got hurt, you can see the difference with the
He ain't played
defense.
the last what month and a half.
Yeah, he was out for like the last month, and
What
you can
we
tell
know?
that defense was whack without him. They was missing him.
I get like because Tyler Shuck didn't start at the beginning of the season. Like I get rookie of the year type situation, but defensive player of the year, we let somebody that missed a month and some change be up. But like you said, massacre.
All right, hence is NFL AP Comeback Player of the Year. The finalists: Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence, Stephon Diggs, Aiden Hutchinson, and my guy Dak Prescott. Christian McCaffrey is the favorite in insert sports book here. Do you think it's gonna be him or also no? Dak Prescott, he had a great year, but I feel like Christian McCaffrey is probably gonna be him.
I know Christian's the favorite, and I know he's gonna win it. But Stephon and Hutchinson, I feel like they have better cases.
Yeah,
I don't. I know they're not going to win it, but Stephon Diggs and Aiden Hutchinson for Detroit. How am I pronouncing that man's last name right? But
yeah, yeah, that's right.
I think they have better cases to be comeback player of the year. I think they are. I don't say more valuable because I know Christian. I know Christian McCaffrey is more. I'm trying to think of the word. I know Christian McCaffrey is more valuable. I just feel like they had a major impact on their team.
Mhm.
I don't. So I just think they had a better story.
Yes, yeah, I see what you mean. Especially Aiden, he broke his leg. That was a gruesome injury for Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, that was very gruesome. So I can see what you mean. Stephon Diggs, man, you can just say comeback player from what he did started off in the all season. Like they was talking about him in all the wrong ways during the all season. And look at him now in the Super Bowl.
Every you're right, every way but the right way.
Yep.
Because of the season.
Offensive Player of the Year, the five finalists: Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Drake May. I mean, you're a quarterback. You're probably not going to win it, but at least you're a finalist. But it's Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had one hell of a season, became the best receiver in the NFL, taking over Jamar Chase's throne.
You think it's that easy?
Yeah, I mean, it's him or Puka.
I was gonna say, you don't think Puka got a shot?
It's close.
It's close, dog. Puka, and then the other thing that helps Puka is Puka has. I'm not saying Smith, Jackson didn't, but Puka had some catches that made you be like, damn.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of like, man, Jackson Smith, Jackson Smith. I'm not even gonna try. I think his stats is better,
Hmm.
but I think Puka got more of the jaw drop plays.
I see what you
So
mean.
I think I'm gonna go with Puka. I
Yeah.
think I would give it. I think I would give it to Puka.
Yep. All right. Hey, they was going at it back and forth in the championship game, NFC championship game.
Yeah, man.
It was a great game. But last but not least, MVP. No disrespect to Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Chris McCaffrey. Those are the bottom three guys. It's Matthew Stafford or Drake May.
It's
Those are your two guys. And I think it's Matthew Stafford's time. I'm giving it to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I think it's Matthew Stafford. I don't even think again recency bias. Drake may got his team to the Super Bowl, but I I just think he had that fluke game versus Carolina where he just turned the ball over so many times. But other than that, Matthew Stafford was balling all year, and I know towards the end of the year he had a couple of rough games too. But no, I think it's Matthew Stafford in a landslide personally.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Matthew Stafford, congratulations. You are, from my perspectives, NFL MVP. I mean, if we had the money, we'll have a trophy for you and send it off to your crib. We ain't got the money like that. But I hope it at least means something to you that me and you are Q's and Dion's, aka from my perspective, NFL MVP. Congratulations to him. But let's talk about some other awards. That doesn't mean much nowadays, but when you try and get you a nice little contract extension, get you a little raise, it means a lot. And that's the Pro Bowl. Shador Sanders made it to the Pro Bowl this season. Now, before we get into it, I'm just go ahead and say it. The Pro Bowl, in terms of the game, doesn't mean jack squat like it used to. It used to mean something. You talk to all the old players, like it used to mean something. And first off, it used to be after the Super Bowl, not before, but it doesn't mean nothing. So this is not the first time some ridiculous stuff or someone made the Pro Bowl that probably shouldn't have made it. But Shador, before it's gonna sound like we slandering you, especially me, it's gonna sound like slandering. It really don't matter. 10 years from now, especially if you make multiple Pro Bowls, it don't matter. You're a one-time pro. You gotta put Pro Bowl in front of your name. So congratulations. But now here comes the slander stuff. Tyler Snoop Huntley, backup for the Baltimore Ravens a couple years ago when Lamar Jackson got hurt. He played a couple extra games. He made it to the Pro Bowl. The problem with this Pro Bowl now, people don't care about it. People don't want to go. They're getting down to the fifth and sixth alternate. First off, because the team that makes there's two teams that make it to the Super Bowl. The team that makes it, those players they not going to the Pro Bowl, so they already going down to an alternate. And then there's players that's made it multiple times. Like, man, I ain't even trying to do all that extra. I'm already in Cancun. I ain't trying to come back. They said I'm good. So they get down to the seventh alternate. Maybe that seventh alternate, he's been a bunch of times. I'm cool. They going down to the eighth alternate. That's the issue. The Pro Bowl doesn't mean much. They just need to go ahead and put it back after the Super Bowl. I used to be a proponent for putting it before the Super Bowl. That was a mistake. Put it after the Super Bowl. Send their ass back to Hawaii and let them treat it like a vacation and let it mean something. Now they're not going back to a regular game. That ain't happening. As much as I would like it to happen, that's not happening. Let it happen after the Super Bowl. Let them have a good time vacationing in Hawaii. But I know I sound like I'm slandering Shador because his stats says he's not a Pro Bowler, but you gotta put Pro Bowl in front of his name now, especially if you make multiple Pro Bowls in the future. Nobody gonna remember that you made this quote unquote Fugazi Pro Bowl, especially if you make more. But Pro Bowler Shador Sanders, what's your reaction?
I don't. We not even counting this. Like I mean, we okay. It's gonna count towards his contract when he
Yeah.
won't talk. And like you said, they'll introduce him. So I don't want to discredit what should. I'm not trying to discredit Shador. You know what I'm saying? He had a great college career. He's made it to the NFL. So I don't want to come off like I'm hating too much, but I'm also being reality of the situation. He only got her because a bunch of other people said no. So, like what? Okay. And then the Pro Bowl, it's an All Star game. It's an exhibition. They don't nobody care.
It's not even the exhibit. They out there playing flag football,
Yeah,
jumping, dodgeball, all
but
that.
I say exhibition, the point I was gonna make was it's kind of like the NBA exhibition, like the NBA's All Star game. It's an exhibition. Nobody,
Yeah,
these players don't really care. They just going because we have most of us is we going because we want to do it for the fans.
yeah.
To be real, most of them is that's why they going. They going because of the fans. And they you know what I'm saying, a chance to do some extra endorsement deals or whatever. That's why I kind of like it. It's in the same city as the Super Bowl because the simple fact those players get to also make some other bread outside of it because they get to do like have conversations here, have conversations there to push endorsement deals. All right, you gonna be there this week? Can you sign up? We gonna pay you to endorse our product. That's why I kind of like it being there because it's an opportunity for the players to make more money. I think if you move it back to Hawaii, I think I think more players. I think you would get more players, but the participation. I just like Hawaii, you'll get more participation from players because, like you said, they're gonna use it as a vacation. They're gonna take their families on it. So I see a case for both options: either going back to Hawaii or doing it the week before the Super Bowl in the city, in the place of the Super Bowl. Because, like I said, for money, I think both of them's good options. I just think which one you gonna pick? And then part of the reason they left Hawaii is because that football stadium in Hawaii ain't good no
It
more.
ain't
But
that far, yeah.
like you said, it's just they do play football now, so it ain't even the same.
Yeah, it's snuff. The Pro Bowl is not the game it used to be. You see the video of Sean Taylor killing the punter. They not doing that no more. But
But
it
it's also because football ain't the same what it used to be.
yeah, you can't even
So
hit people like that no more.
so the football gonna change. So of course the exhibition of the football is gonna change. So yeah.
So, I don't know, it's weird, but I will say congratulations to Shador. Now, anytime somebody mentions you, they got to put Pro Bowler in front of her. So, Pro Bowler, Shador Sanders, congratulations. You got a new coach in Todd Monken who coached the MVP in Lamar Jackson. Hopefully, he can do something with you because at Cleveland, they stink up there. I'm sorry. Hopefully, you can do something up there. But you are a Pro Bowl. Congratulations.
You're right. I
Yeah.
think he will. I think he will help Shador. I do.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and switch gears for our final topic. The NBA trade deadline is next week. Next time you hear from us, the trade deadline will have come and gone, and we will have our reaction to all the big trades or little trades that happen. One thing about the NBA trade deadline, some stuff is gonna happen. It ain't like it's the NFL where it's a lot of smoke and not a lot of fire. NBA, something gonna happen. And I believe at least one big player is going to get traded, where it's Ja Morant, where it's Anthony Davis, where it's Giannis. But Giannis seems like the big fish. Where you think he's going, or do you think he's going anywhere? Because apparently the Milwaukee Bucks, they trying to be buyers instead of sellers, or they trying to. I hear the Bucks is trying to buy instead of sell, or they're trying to be like some small sellers so they can tank and get a nice draft and try to sell that for Giannis. If that don't work, then they'll trade him in the off season. But what you think? How this gonna play out? And I'm hearing the Knicks is in it too.
Yeah, this whole the Giannis situation to me is very. He don't. It's like he don't want to be the bad guy. He don't want to be the villain in anybody's story. So he don't want. He don't want to come out and demand the trade, but he also wants to be traded. It's like he's going. He wants to. I'm going outside, but I'm on tiptoe when I'm out going out the door because I don't want to wake up the neighbors type shit. Like, bro, what you? If you want to leave, leave.
They're not
I,
gonna judge you, big dog. You already got a championship for him.
the fans in Milwaukee already. I don't. This is me. I'm not in Milwaukee, but from the stuff I read online, I don't think the fans of Milwaukee gonna look at you with no ill intent. Now, if this drags on to where you don't get traded at the trade deadline, then they might start raising the eye towards the end of the season. Like, bro, we should have got rid of him last year. We should have got rid of him not last year, at the mid of the year. Where do I think I see him going? That's the other problem with it is Golden State probably has the best offer because you get Jonathan Kaminga. They also have their own draft picks, and then you can get the Jimmy Butler money that you can just wipe off your books.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State probably makes the most sense, but if you Milwaukee, am I really trading him to Golden State? And how bad are they going to be? Miami also is an option, but Miami's always an option. I feel like they don't ever get nobody.
Before you continue, I'm a pseudo Miami fan, not really, but I was a Wade fan, so I kind of like Miami. Reports are Miami's they waiting for Giannis in free agency, and it's every year they waiting for such and such big name in free agency. These
Yeah,
big names don't hit free agency, dog.
they don't. Not no more.
Pat, they don't hit free agency. You got to get them when they want to get out from a trade. LeBron, LeBron was a rarity. That's because he wanted to. These guys don't hit free agency. Stop assuming that these guys gonna hit free agency. I'm sorry, you can continue. Just being a pseudo Heat fan, I was upset. I couldn't imagine being a diehard Heat fan.
No. So Miami, I know New York is there, but it also if they was gonna do it and keep Cat, it's kind of hard now because Mikal Bridges signed a contract extension in the offseason. So now the money don't it get a little shaky now. So now you actually have to trade Cat because before you just trade Mikal and OG together and you get Giannis and you good to go. Now you got to trade Cat, and I know Cat ain't getting along with Mike Brown, but still, if I'm the New York Knicks, if I remember right, they only got either one or two picks. So what is I get Cat in some picks? I'm basically in the same boat
Yep.
with a player that's not as good.
They probably don't want to be there.
I said this before on this pod. I think probably was a couple weeks ago. Until that man come out with his whole chest and say I want to be gone, I'm a shop. I'm gonna be a buyer. I'm going to continue to approve this team and do things that could make this roster better. If I'm them, I'm gonna go get y'all. I don't know how they go get y'all because they don't really got the contracts to make it work. But I go get y'all or LaMelo. I go get somebody to
Yep.
first because I go to Giannis and be like, okay, what if I go get you this? Because basically all he wanted some help, and you
Mhm.
can't really blame him.
All right, so yeah, we're not gonna go each and every superstar, but I do gotta ask you a question before we get out here. Giannis one, Ja Morant two, LaMelo three, Anthony Davis four. Those are the four guys who are hot and on the trade block. When we come back next week on this podcast and talk about who got traded, do you see one, none, or all four of them getting traded?
Okay, if I had to put money on it, like
Mhm.
like I'm getting on one of those insert sports betting situations here that you be doing, I'm gonna say one, and then one is Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Because I even think even the Giannis trade is gonna be hard to do. It's probably gonna involve a 3 team. You know what I mean? So I'm going with the one because I don't even know if the Hornets really want to trade Melo at this point.
All right, so one more question before we got here. Not necessarily trade related, but a pre- prediction or possibility that could happen. LeBron was in Cleveland, I believe, last night and the night before. First off, this reporter said some nonsense and said Donovan Mitchell runs Cleveland nil. I don't know what that reporter was thinking. You know, Cleveland is LeBron City and will forever will be LeBron City. You probably just, got some ill will. But we all know LeBron he put a little smoke screen out there and said, This might be his last time playing in Cleveland. I believe when I see it, I think he's playing next year. But there was some stuff that came out. Jeannie Buss reportedly said some things that felt like LeBron wasn't grateful for them drafting Bronny, this, that, and third. Sounds like LeBron is headed for a breakup with the Lakers. Where do you think he will go for his last season? Because I believe next season will be his last season. And Cleveland did came out and said that they would gladly welcome LeBron with open arms. And honestly, from my perspective, any team should, especially if it's going to be his last season, because that's money waiting to happen. LeBron's last season, he could have his last season for the Shanghai Sharks. They gonna make bread out the yin yang. Do you think he's gonna be in Cleveland? I heard New York Knicks was a possibility, but I feel like all 29 other teams should be like, hey, if you want to have your last season, come on. We will make it work. Where do you think LeBron's having his last season at, possibly next season?
I think okay, I'm gonna say Cleveland. I think realistically it's Cleveland. But hear me out. I did just say Golden State has the best package to trade for Giannis. Giannis, Steph, and LeBron.
Last season for LeBron too. Ooh, that's that money. Boy, them tickets gonna cost 300 for the nosebleeds, probably more. You gonna be
Come
up
on,
there watching the game with Mike Jack.
Mike. Shoot. But realistically, I think it's Cleveland. But because of what I just said, Giannis go to Golden State. If I'm LeBron always about his money. I'm gonna get as much money as I can.
Yeah, he took enough pay cuts when I was in Miami. He said he ain't doing that no more.
But one last pay cut to play with Giannis and Steph, and I get one more ring.
And honestly, like I'm sure he gets money for his jersey sales, for the amount of money he's gonna make that last season. They gonna be Kobe. I remember Kobe's last season. It's gonna be that plus 10.
Yeah. So yeah, nah. Golden State would be a very interesting, be very interesting. But if I had to rank them, I'm going Cleveland one. Golden State actually is my number two.
Yeah.
Without Giannis, I think because him it's just like, hey man, one last year, man, I'm gonna kick it with Steph. One last round, two old heads. Um, I think the Lakers. Hell, I might even put New York above the Lakers. I don't. I think that's over. I
Yeah,
think that.
I don't think he's come back to the Lakers. I think there's some fire to that smoke about Jeannie Buss not being happy. She came out and said she basically came out and didn't deny it, but she came out and said some stuff. She didn't deny it though, so I feel like part of that report was true of her feeling like LeBron was ungrateful. So
Yeah, no, I think. But yeah, if I had to rank them, I got Cleveland at one, Golden State at two, hell, New York three, and then Lakers somewhere.
yeah, I do think it probably not have to be Cleveland, but I'd be shocked if it's anybody but Cleveland for his last season. Kind of just makes sense. That money Cleveland gonna make is ridiculous.
But I disagree with something you said.
What's up?
I think Donovan Mitchell does run Cleveland now.
Really?
Yeah, LeBron coming back for one more year. It's Donovan Mitchell's team now.
I mean, yeah, yeah, it would still be his team, but what LeBron means to Cleveland, ain't nobody touching that.
Yeah, that's sentimental. We talking about who's the best player on this team and who the organization going to side with going forward.
Okay. You're right,
It's,
because right now
it's
the
Donovan
Lakers
Mitchell.
they signed with Luca.
Yeah, it's Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell's our future.
Okay,
LeBron's only here for a year. Donovan Mitchell going to be here where we hope
multiple
five,
years.
5 years after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, nah.
But yeah, that'll do it for another episode from our perspective. Again, trade deadline, February 5th, next Thursday. We will be here talking about all the trades that's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Well, I said the four names that I believe are going to get traded. One of them is going to get traded. If LeBron get traded, we'll probably have an emergency podcast for that. Although we'll see. I don't think he will be, but I'm just throwing that out if LeBron gets traded. But the other four, we will talk about it next Thursday if one of the four gets traded or if all of the four gets traded. Next Thursday, you will hear from us. Next week is going to be a big week as well as we'll also be talking about the Super Bowl. We ain't forget about the Super Bowl. We'll talk about it next week, guys. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks, to the New England Patriots for making it to the Super Bowl. But again, that's it. Do it for another episode of From Our Perspective. I'm your boy, Dion. Go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and tell us who you think LeBron will play for next season, if he comes back next season for his 23rd,
Fourth, I think.
24th
24.
and final season. Who you think he's going to play for if he plays next season and it is his last season? Go again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that link in the bio and buy some merch. Valentine's Day is coming up. Your shorty, she might need one of them blankets. She's cold. It's been below freezing for like 10 days straight here where we're at. It's been a snow blizzard pretty much half of the United States. Y'all need some blankets. Get your From Our Perspective blanket. And while you cuddled up, trying to warm up, pop on another episode. You can go back and listen to our Hall of Fame episode for Christmas special because we had some good stuff. We're going to talk about Bill Belichick more probably next season when he's in the Hall of Fame because he will be in the Hall of Fame next year. I guarantee it. But once again, I'm your boy Dion. Thank you for joining us. Can you guys take us home?
Man, you already know the best. It's your boy, Mr. Bad, aka say your name up on the spot. Might not put you ma. Real quick, is there like a UFC match or something going on this weekend?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You gonna watch it?
Probably not. I got stuff to do. I'll
Okay,
probably
cool.
watch it.
Well, the next big UFC match, Dion gonna talk about it on the pod because he watched this.
Yeah,
He gonna get y'all a UFC minute.
I got you. I got you.
But we gonna holler at y'all later.